Okay, guys. So the final task for today, and those of you who might not be able to get outside, or those of you who don't have a camera, I know there's a couple of you who have traveled who haven't taken your cameras with you. What I want you to do is have a practice using this camera simulator. If you click on the image here, it will take you to a link of the camera simulator. So go to the Google Slides and find this slide. Um, you'll basically need to either download Flash, okay, Adobe Flash, or you'll need to ensure that your browser doesn't block Flash in order so that this to actually works. Okay, and I want you to then practice capturing some of the images. Now, I'll talk you through a bit more in a second. On the next slide, it tells you what images I want you to capture. Okay, so there's 5 images here. Okay, let's have a look at a bit in terms of what I mean by this simulator. Okay, so if we go into a browser, if you click on it, you might browser might come up with something like this to start with. Okay, it will say need Flash is needed to use Camera Sim. Okay, download, so you can either download it or make sure that your pop-up blocker isn't on up here, preventing it from running. Okay, once it is running, you should have something that looks like this. Okay, so we can actually see the camera is moving. It allows you to adjust all the functions on it. So I can actually change, okay, the type of day it is. Okay, so it's indoors, bright outdoors. We got a sunny day. I can alter the distance that we want this little girl to be at. And I can adjust the focal length of it. Okay, so we can actually sort of zoom in, zoom out. It allows me to shoot on shutter priority, on aperture priority, which we've done today. Again, I can adjust the ISO. Okay, I can adjust the aperture, and you can see an aperture priority is allowing me to adjust the aperture. Okay, and then in doing so, it is you can see the shutter is changing. What I want you to do is have a go in manual. Okay, and that's important that you to do this. We look at the light meter here. Okay, now I'm going to shoot something like this, and I'm moving things around, and I am not paying attention to my light meter. I think, yeah, that looks great. I'm going to take an image now. If I'm shooting, we can see it says +2. That means I'm going to be overexposed. So let's have a look. Take a picture. Okay, we can clearly see it is overexposed. All right, so I need to adjust it to make sure, let's change my aperture to bring it back to that line is in the center here. Okay, so I know everything's balanced. I'm going to now capture. All right, there is a restriction in terms of how many images that you can take. So be careful. I think I've probably used up my limit already. Oh no, I've got 15 more. All right. Close that down, but that'll be more than enough for you to play with. I'm trying to get the full version for us to use and hopefully have this accessible for you for next week. Okay, so go back. Let's have a look in terms of what some of the tasks are. It says I want to capture an image with a depth of field on a most at least sunny sorry, with a deep depth of field, so that means I want all of it in focus. Okay, on a mostly sunny day with a distance of 8 feet. All right, so I want it to be, it said mostly sunny day, it said a distance of 8 feet, and I want most of this to be in focus. Now, to do that, I want to make sure that my aperture is up quite high. Okay, so I'm going to shoot on 18. Now, right now, I'm too dark, but I want to make sure my depth of field doesn't change. So in order to do that, I'm going to change my shutter speed and bring it down to make it slower. So it's going to basically, if I do that, my shutter speed is slower, but I know my exposure is correct. All right, click on fire again. Okay, and that's what we're looking to capture. Unfortunately, she is a bit blurry because she's been sort of moving around. Okay, have a play with it. see how you get on. And yeah, it's a good way for you guys to practice.